here's the thing with the night cream. I get asked a lot, well, why did you develop a night cream? And really the question is, why didn't we develop a night cream first? You could almost make an argument that a night cream is one of the most important pieces of a good skincare line. And the reason is because you want a night cream to do your heavy lifting. Your skin revitalizes and replenishes itself at night while you sleep. And so this is the most important time to nourish your skin, give it those things that will really help reactivate and replenish and renew your skin. And so you really want to take advantage of this time during the day, or during the night rather, when your skin is prepped and ready to receive moisturizers, those things that are really going to help, like I said, renew your skin. And so that's why the night cream was developed the way it is. That's why night creams usually are such a critical part of a line. So find this here. So again, we all know what it's like to wake up and just feel like you've just been through the ringer, and you've got bags under your eyes, and your skin is slack and it's just dull. And you know, we like to say that this product helps you wake up Instagram ready, right? Which is never reality, but we're going to get as close as we can. So this really is your beauty sleep. And heaven knows a lot of us need beauty sleep. I certainly do. So this is, again, really just designed to do the heavy lifting during the period, day and night, when your skin needs it most, when your skin is actually most active, and when your skin is most vulnerable to things like moisture loss. So this really is just such a key thing. And key ingredients of a night cream are important. I was in Asia last week, and I ended up in the airport in Guangzhou and had a very lengthy delay. And so I had hours to kill in the airport. And when that happens, I love nothing more than to wander through the duty-free shops, the cosmetic duty-free shops, because I love to just pick up just item after item, all of the big retail brands, and see what they're launching, see what the new thing is for them. Do a little bit of a market research while I'm killing time in the airport, and so I love to do this and just kind of shoo the salespeople away and just go through product after product. And what I find, and what we typically find in a lot of these retail products, is they are built around one really solid active ingredient, and they use that very heavily in their marketing. And they talk about how important that active ingredient is, and so they are all very proud of their active ingredient. Well, our approach is a little bit different. We actually put multiple active ingredients in our formulas. As you know, one of the key cornerstones of the Jouvé line and product development here in general is that we want products that are multifunctional. So there is sort of your first talking point about night cream, as well as the entire Jouvé line, is these are products that are multifunctional. So we'll talk about a little bit of what that means and how all of these things fit together. But we built our formula around 4 key actives. Now there are other actives in there. There's some great aloe, and there's hyaluronic acid. There are a few other things that are still very good on their own. But we added in 4 botanical ingredients. Well, actually, with the red complex, it ends up being 6. That we feel really work synergistically and really make this multifunctional product work on a lot of different levels. So we're going to talk about each one of these just really briefly. You may have heard this, you may have read about these, but let me just kind of give you a little bit of information about each one. So the Persian silk tree, which is just an amazing, amazing ingredient. This is clinically proven. And again, these are the ingredients we love to use. We love to find ingredients that have already been through clinical trials of their own, and clinically proven on their own to have a benefit. This one, my slides got off. I must have deleted a slide here. Persian silk tree, well, let's talk about this. This is something that is branded under the name Prodesia, and it is clinically proven to reduce the signs of tiredness and fatigue by 60%. And this is, again, clinically shown in their own independent trials. And so what are those signs of fatigue? Well, it's dull skin, it's sagging skin, it's skin that just is not radiant in the morning. And so we all know, we've all looked in the mirror in the morning on those bad mornings after a night's sleep that wasn't very good. And we've seen that. We know what that looks like. And so this is an ingredient that's put in there at clinical levels to help reduce those signs of fatigue, to help your skin just look more fresh and clean and radiant in the morning. And this is sort of the cornerstone of the product, one of the main key ingredients that's in there for that specific benefit. We go on to the stem cells that are from the Budlaha plant. This is the butterfly bush. And this is very, very key as we talk about stem cells. Now, stem cells get talked about a lot out there, and there's a lot of confusion about what stem cells are, and about whether you should be looking for plant stem cells or human stem cells, or what it is you should really be looking for. Well, stem cell technology, let's talk about this a little bit. What is stem cell technology? First of all, let's talk about what it's not. These are not actual stem cells. So that's the first maybe myth that people talk about, that there are actual stem cells being put into the product. That is never, ever the case. So if you ever hear somebody say they have stem cells, actual living stem cells in their product, cosmetic product, you know that they don't know anything about their product, because that is never the case. Because obviously you have to keep those, to keep them alive, you have to have a very specific pH, you have to have nutrients in there. It has to be a living broth, and cosmetics never are. So it's never active living stem cells that are put in. Number two myth is that it does not replace your skin's own stem cells. So those are two things that people sort of get wrong. I see a lot out there in marketing and in the retail sector. People tend to think it's either living stem cells that they're putting on their skin, or it's stem cells that get absorbed that replace their skin's own stem cells. So let's talk about what it actually does. So stem cells, sorry, I'm stuttering, from the plant are cultured. What this means, this is biotech. This is real cutting edge science stuff. So these are brought in, and the technology that's used for our specific stem cell is HTN, or high tech nature. So what this does is, in the lab setting, you're able to isolate and culture these stem cells, and the way they're fed and cultured specifically produces these bioactive ingredients, and these bioactive ingredients are then placed into the night cream. So it's not the stem cells themselves. The stem cells are cultured, they grow, and they produce these bioactive ingredients. And so these plants were very specifically selected for the bioactives that they produce. These are then put into the night cream. The night cream is put on your skin, absorbs into your skin. Well, what happens when it gets into your skin is it stimulates your skin's stem cells to rev up again. We're all born with stem cells. We have them in our skin. They're there our entire life. When we age, they slow down. They don't kick off daughter cells quite as often. So as stem cells are undifferentiating, they grow the daughter cells, which then become squamous cells or skin cells or whatever the skin needs. Well, that slows down as we age, and these stem cells are just not as active. So these bioactives have been proven to stimulate those stem cells so that they work the way they did when you were in your teens and your 20s, when your skin was at its best. And so they replenish your stem cells. They also do other things. They're really great at protecting and preserving your stem cells as well, but the main benefit is that they replenish your stem cells. And that doesn't mean they replace your stem cells. It means they give your stem cells a good kick in the behind and get them going again. So that's the beauty and the science and the amazing nature of stem cells. Now, why did we choose the stem cells we did? Well, first of all, we wanted these specific bioactives that have been shown to act the way they do on your stem cells. We also chose plant stem cells because it's a cleaner source. We know then it is, we know it's non-GMO. We know it is free of pesticides and herbicides and things. And there are some products that use stem cells derived from humans. We don't like that. First of all, you have to know that's derived from human fat. And in a lot of cases, you're never quite sure if everything else has been completely stripped from that fat. And one of the things that concerns me personally is that a lot of the toxins in our body are stored in our fat. So fat is actually very, very heavy in toxins. And so to use that as a starting material for stem cells has always kind of raised my eyebrows and made me wonder, are you absolutely sure that all of those toxins and all of those contaminants are gone when you start with human stem cells? So, you know, I know Deanna, when she launched us, she was talking about butt fat. You know, do you want to put somebody else's butt fat on your face? And if you kind of think about that in those terms, it kind of gives you pause and you think, you know, we know the plant stem cells are a very clean source, renewable source, and one that we just really love. And so again, they're very highly standardized. They're free from any type of pollutant. They're non-GMO. And again, they're extremely efficacious. The Persian silk tree extract, again, reduces the visible signs of fatigue. So I got these in the wrong order. Paracress. Let's talk about paracress. This is something that that we didn't really talk a lot about at the launch, just because we were focusing on some of the others. But I really love this ingredient, and the reason I love this is that it takes care of a common problem in your skin that most of us never talk about, most of us never think about, and that's something called glycation. Well, glycation happens when sugar molecules bind to collagen. Now, sugar, we talk about how horrible sugar is internally and how it affects us in weight loss and health and all these things. Well, again, remember, skin is one of your organs, just like everything else. And it does, when you eat a lot of sugar, it does absorb the sugar. One of the horrible things that happens in the skin when you have excess sugar is that it binds to proteins, specifically collagen and elastin. Well, what happens when it binds to it is it kind of locks it up. And it doesn't allow the collagen and the protein to go and interact the way it needs to in the skin. It becomes more brittle. It's less able to act the way it's supposed to. It's like two cars crashed into each other, and now you're trying to pull them apart and trying to steer them and park them, and there's no way that works. So as long as the sugar is bound to the protein can't work the way it's designed to. And so then you end up in a breakdown of collagen and elastin in your skin, and that we know leads to aging, signs of aging. And so we're really, really proud of the paracress in here and the effect it has on aging. So now if you look at a lot of these, okay, so now we're talking about things that are happening at the deepest levels of the skin and the stem cells. We're talking about looking now at what's happening in what we call the extracellular matrix, which is the area in between the skin cells, which is where the proteins live, the collagen and elastin. So we're looking at how all these different active ingredients act in different ways on the skin, and that's what I talked about being multifunctional. We wanted something that helps your skin in a lot of different ways. And this one, protecting against glycation, is really, really good. And this shows that this not only protects against it, but it actually helps repair some of the proteins that have been glycated and been damaged by that process. So it helps repair that collagen and elastin, helps protect against this happening in the first place. And again, it's a really good reminder, cut down on your sugar. Sugar is evil. People badmouth fat. Don't worry about fat, worry about sugar. Keep sugar out of your diet. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but you can never be reminded too much of the damage that refined sugar does to your body, every single organ in your body, including your skin. We talked about this extracellular matrix. This is that area in between all the cells, and it looks very, very complex. You have a lot of these proteinaceous fibers when you're young. This starts to break down as you're older, as you age. And so being able to protect these proteins, these collagens and elastins, is so very, very vital to making sure that your skin remains young and young looking, because without this matrix of proteins, your skin does start to sag, it starts to wrinkle, and it's what happens when we age. So anything you can do to protect those fibers and those proteins will have a very, very significant visible impact on your skin. All right, so the red complex, which shouldn't be new to most people if you're familiar with the other Jouvé products, this is something that's carried over from the brightener, something that is proprietary to us, and we love using this complex. It's 3 ingredients: a Japanese coral grass, Swiss snow algae, and our red radish root, which acts as our natural preservative in the product. Again, we stay away from any of the phenoxyethanols, any of the parabens, anything there that's on our never ever list. Part of our clean commitment was to make sure we use natural preservatives in these products, and that's carried through into the night cream. But the Japanese coral grass and the Swiss snow algae together, 2 really, really amazing products that act to retain moisture in your skin and to fight against free radical damage. So Swiss snow algae is a tremendous antioxidant. It has to be. It grows in very, very harsh climates, very harsh exposure to UVA and UVB rays, so it's great at protecting against that as well. The Japanese coral grass, which grows in very brackish, very salty water conditions, so it has adapted to really be able to retain moisture, and so it does the same thing in the skin. Really helps just hold and lock that moisture in. And again, your skin loses a lot of water, a lot of moisture at night. And that's really when you need to replenish that moisture and really need to hold in so that it's not being lost while you sleep. Again, the antimicrobial properties of the red radish root are just amazing. I'm actually seeing more and more products out there in the retail space using this now. So I think we were a little bit of a pioneer here, seeing others jump on this bandwagon and use this ingredient. They found out just how amazing and effective it is. But I'm really proud that we started out with this in the line. So results. One of the things that I've looked at for years, and I was amazed now to look at this when I dropped this into the slide. This is now 10 years old. But there, I'm going to kick forward a couple slides here. We'll come back to this. This was now 10 years ago. I can't believe it was that long ago. But in 2007, Consumer Reports did a really, really big sort of expose on moisturizers and specifically night creams back in 2007. And they went out, as Consumer Reports does, and they pulled products off the shelf and tested them independently in their laboratories. And they took, I believe it was 20-something products. Oh, they actually tested 9. They did about 20 subjects on each one. And these were all marketed as high end. Now some were fairly cheap. They were, $38 was on the low end, up to above $300 on the high end. And they tested all these, and honestly, all they could come up with, and they measured this the same way that we measure things in our clinical trials, which is with the Vizio specs, the cameras, all of the equipment that's set up to objectively measure skin wrinkles and firmness and tone and all of these other things. So this was not just subjective. This was actually done very objectively with measurement equipment. But all they saw, and the entire report, if you read it, is actually fairly damning to a lot of these products. But really what they saw, it was slight improvements overall. That was sort of their take-home message, is that here are these creams, some of them $100, $200, $300 for a couple ounces, and all they saw were slight improvements. And in some cases, they didn't even see any statistical improvement when they measured these. And this was something that a lot of people kind of freaked out over. A lot of consumers at the time, I remember sort of freaking out over this, saying, well, what are we wasting our money on? So one of the things that we have always been very, very proud of, and we've committed to do on every Jouvé product, on every Jouvé leave-on product, I should say, is to run these through an independent third-party clinical study. And so we did this with the night cream, as we have with others, with Essex Labs back in New Jersey, one of the nation's leading CROs, which is a clinical research organization. Very, very good operation, and completely hands-off, completely independent. We get to approve and sign the protocol when we start, and we get the report at the end. That is all our involvement with this. We don't have any idea who the subjects are. We don't even know how they're chosen. We do know the criteria, but we don't know who they are. We don't know anything about the 6-week studies as it's going on. We don't get any reports, any updates, anything until we get the final report. So it is completely hands-off, completely third-party. And again, as with the brightener and tightener, we were blown away with the results here of this trial. And in some cases, it's almost unbelievable, because, you know, I've kind of joked about this. Getting 35, there were 35 women in this study. Getting 35 women together to agree on anything, I think, is just about impossible. So getting 100% on some of these scores, meaning that all 35 women agreed to this scoring, is just absolutely phenomenal. It's almost unbelievable to say that, you know, 100% showed a visible reduction in crow's feet and fine lines. 100% observed that their skin was softer and felt smoother, that their skin was visibly younger and healthier looking. 90% observed the firm and lifting of this product. And just start this over again here. Sorry about that. And 90% observed firmed and lifted skin. And the firming and lifting on this is a large percentage. This was over 50% measured by the equipment of the firming and toning abilities of the product. 100% said they would recommend this to a friend, and 100% said they would buy it. Now, these are women who have no idea what the product was. They don't even know who the company was. They got a plain white jar with a few things like night cream on it, and that was about it. So people are saying you're not seeing the slides now. Are you seeing that again? Here we go. That should work. Somebody type a message real quick, maybe. Okay. All right. So 100%, just like I said, just phenomenal. And if you look at any of those companies that do clinical testing, and a lot of them don't, especially in the retail sector, you'll see scores often of 80 in the 80s, maybe the low 90s, which they are very proud of, and they should be. Getting 100%, just absolutely amazing. So again, you know, you see marketing, especially you women, you're bombarded with it day in and day out on cosmetic products. And I know it's out there. I see it all the time. You know, facelift in a bottle, it's a miracle cream, it's hope in a bottle, all of these types of things. You know, and we tend to not really hype a lot of this in the marketing. We let the results speak for themselves. And, you know, as you go out and sell something like a night cream, really the best thing to do is to be your own marketing. And we always talk about that, be a product of the product. Those of you who I think have used this for a while, and I know members of our Partners Council, our Founders Club, some other people have been using this for actually quite a few months. And every time they run out, I get panicked phone calls. Hey, I need more of this. I need more of this. And so all throughout the development, we were trying to supply our Founders Club. It was like a drug habit for a while, it seemed. And we were really just trying to keep this going, because it was just so loved by those who were using it. And so hopefully, I think you're all experiencing the same thing. If you've gotten your hands on this and using it yourself, you're actually seeing this in the mirror and feeling this with your fingertips, that this is just amazing. Transparency and commitment. I can't talk to you enough about this and how important this is. Keeping with our never ever list, making sure that we are Leaping Bunny and PETA certified. So important, I think, to all of us, that these products are not tested on the skin, are not tested on animals, rather, that they are vegan and gluten-free, that they are non-comedogenic. I know for people like me with bad skin sometimes, I mean, that's so important to know that these are not going to create or cause acne. And then, of course, the fact that these are EWG verified. So EWG, the Environmental Working Group, and their EWG verified program is very, very rigorous, looks at so much criteria. It's about a 20-page guidance document that we have to abide by. They look at all of our products. We have to have full transparency all throughout the supply chain, from raw materials all the way to finished product. They verify that they go into our manufacturing facility. They verify that good manufacturing practices and OTC standards are followed. They really just pick apart our products. And it really is still kind of a badge of honor for us to have our products EWG verified. Still fewer than 1,000 products out there are EWG verified. We were one of the first 10 companies to adopt this. I've actually been back to Washington with EWG to lobby for better cosmetic legislation. Really good group of people, and we were early adopters of this. And again, still with all of the hundreds of thousands of skincare products out there, still fewer than 1,000 are EWG verified. So this is still something that we are very proud of and very honored to be part of this program and know that our products score 1s and 2s on everything, which is no or low toxicity concerns, and still very clean, not only in our eyes but in EWG's eyes. They've been very complimentary towards us and our products and what they contain and how we went about creating these products. So really briefly, let's just go over routines. If anybody has any questions, a lot of people still use the brightener, the dark spot corrector rather, in the AM. They use the tightener along with that if that's something that that you need, and then PM routine. I know there's still a lot of people who like to use the brightener twice a day, and if your concerns are dark spots or uneven skin tone or pigment, that's still a great thing to do. It's still a fantastic product for evening out your skin tone, which was not the focus of the night cream, obviously. So I know for people who are concerned about age spots and uneven skin tone, they still like to use the brightener at night as well. If you do that, we just recommend that you do that first and allow that to dry and completely absorb into your skin. That usually takes about 8 to 10 minutes for that to just completely absorb down into the deeper layers. And then use your night cream. And again, wait about 10 to 15 minutes if you can before you then put head to pillow, just to make sure that that is completely absorbed. And that is sort of the best routine. And for you guys on the call, this is not just for the women. This is not a problem that we don't share. You should be using this as well, and you should also be marketing this to men, because it matters for all of us. And maybe we don't get caught up in the beauty crazes the way that the women do, just because so much marketing is directed towards them. But remember, this is not about only having good looking skin, it's about having healthy skin. And again, your skin is your biggest organ. It's a carrier. It's how so many things are absorbed into your body. You want the healthiest and the most vibrant, the most radiant skin you can. So guys, you need this too. Trust me, you all need this. I know I need this. This is one that I've started using again during development. I've used this for a lot of months. And you know what? I'm proud of the fact when people mistake my age and think I'm still in my 30s or even my early 40s. And you know, I chalk that up to being able to have good products available to me. So guys, don't be afraid of using this. Don't be afraid of marketing to men. This is a product that everybody should be using. And this is just, as we finish, you know, one of the things is I've developed these products and developed hundreds of cosmetics over the years. There are those that I've helped companies develop that that I am proud to take home, that I would give to my daughters, I would give to my mom. These, I'll tell you, these Jouvé products are the best of the best. I would give these to any of the loved ones and recommend them to anybody, sisters, daughters, a wife, mother, anybody in your family. These are products that we should all be using. Again, just a line that's going to continue to grow.